Welcome back. By now, you've had a chance to prototype a few things, to look at your business model canvas, to revisit the Ikigai, and hopefully have a defined sort of point of view or North Star for where you're heading and what you want to be doing or continuing to iterate and prototype toward. So, you might remember that I mentioned the Goldilocks approach to prototyping. Here's another moment where you can think about that. So let's pretend actually I can use a real one. I am bringing my jewelry business back to life and preparing or a few months ago, I knew that I was going to be preparing for the holiday season. So I knew that there was a date out there that I had to get to. And in order to get there, there were a whole bunch of things, of small steps I had to take to get me there. I had to make sure my branding was up to date. I had to make sure I actually had product. I had to make sure I signed up for the fair so that I could actually sell my goods. So here's your moment to future cast and backcast, right? To go a year out or 6 months out, you choose a milestone that works within your business or your big pivot, and then look at what are all of the little steps I need to take to get there. And in this moment, just choose a few small steps that you can begin to activate around. And then I'm often, as Holly likes to joke, that I love my calendar. I don't love my calendar, but it helps me get things done. When I give myself deadlines, it helps me get things done. So I would put time on my calendar that's dedicated to the 3 steps that I'm going to make happen this week or this month. I know Holly uses other processes that help her move forward. And do you want to share a few of those with us, Holly?
So as Elisa said, we have the power to look to the future to see where we want to get to and then break it into small steps as we move back to where we are today. And you are going to have time to do that, break it down to the key milestones. What I want to give you are just 2 small gifts in thinking about activating those key deliverables, milestones, actions, and doing it in a way that is intentional and, as one of my dear friends would say, eating an elephant 1 bite at a time. So you've laid out, lay out what those key actions are. Once you have, there's a video that you're going to get to watch, and it's Essentialism. It's a book. The big idea, and what I'm hoping will be helpful for you, is that if something matters, it should be front and center. And if it matters, it should be on your calendar. And Elisa, loving her calendars, I'm sure is delighted about this. So he has a formal process for calendaring around a goal, the essential thing that you're trying to make change on. One is it should be on your calendar every week. And it should be a standing meeting with yourself. It can be 15 minutes, it can be 30 minutes, it can be an hour, whatever it is. But the reality of that, if we want this change, we have got to put time towards it. And that's a great way to begin to accomplish each of these key milestones, Goldilocks activities that you have. And then in addition to that, he says once a quarter, just like a company gets together once a quarter to reflect on direction, you get together with yourself and you look at the progress that you've made, the actions that you said you were going to take, and what you think the next actions would be. And you iterate and design off of that, recognizing that in itself is a prototype that should be evolving. And the last thing I would say is, for me, less is more. And I can get overwhelmed with large lists. And I have ordered from Target this Post-it that is super simple. And it just says today's top 3. And I have no more than 3 things on this list in any given day that has to do with my business. And I do a second top 3 that's for myself and my family. So I don't know if that's helpful. You do not need to have the special Post-it, but less is more, and 3 is a very achievable number. So take action, chart your path, and we're going to be so excited to see you at our next and our final time together.